Hello, I am Bridget Rowe. I am energy, I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. The purpose of this video is going to be one of the back-to-back videos that I post in the month of September, where we're talking about mentally and sexually stimulating a man. But on this particular video, I wanted to talk about self-reflection. A lot of times we look outside of ourselves and what we can do to be looking good in the physical or whatever dealing with the physical, but we need to come sometimes within, engage our energy, our characteristics, our qualities, becoming better people than what we used to be, not for anything on the outside, for ourselves, for us evolving in the journey, for us learning and growing. And so some people, well, everybody really can grow in some area of their life. I'm growing. I'm growing right now. The growth from being an introverted person to being here live right now. This is growth for me. Look at me. I got my big girl drawers on, y'all. Anyway, the title of this particular video is going to be, why should he choose you? And this video is going to be dedicated to anyone who is on a journey to be in a relationship, looking for love inside of the box. We're talking about men this month, so sometimes we look for love inside of the box when we will forget sometimes that we are the love. But we're dealing with boxes this month, so let's play the game like we're still in a box. So here we go. Why should he choose you? In this video, I want to bring to your attention that people who may be handsome or beautiful, depending upon your sex or whatever you like, they might get complimented a lot. They might see in their physical reality some women that look good, some men that look good, or whatever the deal is. But there are some women or men that's standing out that's different than the others. Though there's a plethora, for example, of women that are beautiful. I see women that are beautiful all the time. Beautiful long hair, beautiful skin, maybe they even beautiful women, more beautiful than me, bigger booties, bigger boobs, I only have little bite size, they have bigger boobs, all kind of deliciousness in women, beautiful legs, beautiful feet, beautiful hands. I got wrinkle hands. I don't know how I created this in my physical reality, but my hands wrinkle. Hey, somebody have more beautiful hands than me. So, in this here smorgasbord, this box, there's all these different flavors of deliciousness. It's okay. And everybody, pick in the physical, what they like. He might be an ass man. He might be a boob man. He might be a hair man or a leg man, Outside of that, though, outside of the physical, what makes you different? Is your personality a little bit different than others? Is your heart chakra a little bit deep, powerful than others because you don't have any old hurt or wound, and you can pull people in through that electromagnetic field of energy from your heart? Is your sense of humor a little bit different? What is it about you that's not physical that's different? And I want to share this with you because it becomes second nature for somebody who looks good to get a compliment. That's typical. A compliment is almost equivalent to being asked, how are you? You normally just say fine. What's your name? You would say just normally your first name. It's just so typical, So saying to someone who looks good and get that all the time, you're beautiful. Thank you. is the automatic reply for that. Those questions or statements, they're not gonna be the thing that person is gonna think about later on. They're not gonna remember all the people that said, "How are you?" later on. They're not gonna laugh at that. They're not gonna indulge maybe more information. If they're in a rush or whatever, they're not gonna indulge and open up a conversation based upon somebody saying, "How are you?" You know, they're just gonna say fine and be like, "Okay, you know, I'm busy," and they keep walking or whatever. But if you have a personality and they're not giving them those typical responses or answers or whatever, that in itself has the ability to capture that person's attention. And so not only are you the beautiful woman, but you stood out too, because it may be your heart chakra, maybe it was your personality, your sense of humor, the shocking responses that you gave, you know, because that's in that person on an experience with you, you know, that created maybe something out the norm. Like I talk about the thrills, the chills, the expansion. I want to learn more. I want to hear more. I want her to, I want to share laughter with her a little bit more. I want to experience that heart chakra a little bit more. I want to experience that personality a little bit more. So it's like you're luring a person in when you stand out. But if you don't, you just amongst all of the pretty women that, you know, the ones that go to the club and they just sit down. And they know they're pretty, but they don't dance. They you know, them shoes, you know, hurt, you know, so they're not gonna dance, and they can't dance because they barely can walk in the shoe or whatever. You know, we all go through that phase in our journey. But you know who stands out though the most? It's the beautiful woman that gets on the dance floor and she's dancing because she's confident, and she's dancing because she's having fun, and she's the life of the party. Everybody remember her because she stood out, because she's doing it because it's just natural to her. It's natural for her personality. It's natural for her confidence level. It's natural for her feeling good. It's natural. So, self-reflecting here. What are you naturally doing outside of the physical that makes somebody want to choose you out of all the beautiful women in the world? Why you? And maybe we could all, you know, work in that area, is all I'm saying. Personality wise, being witty. Let me give you a real good example. The other day I woke up and I couldn't find my debit card. I looked all over for my card and I wondered where it was, and I only looked for it because I was hungry. So I really had to find my card. But then I got tired of looking. I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to get another card, and then I'm going to get me something to eat. And I was thirsty too. So I'm in root chakra, survival mode. I say that to say I didn't put no makeup on. I had on a tank top. I had on some joggers, you know, some loose little joggers, some sandals. No jewelry or nothing, you know, because I like to look presentable when I leave, when I go somewhere. But that day I didn't care. I didn't care. I just didn't care. Anyway, so I went to the bank, and when I went to the bank, I met 3 men. When I went, excuse me, when I went to get me something to eat, I met 5 men. Collectively, within those 2 places that I went, I met 8 men. 1 stood out. Why did 1 stand out? I will share with you why he stood out and all the other 7 didn't. This particular one was at the second place when I went to go get me something to eat. And at that moment, you know, I was walking out the door when he interacted with me. And I'm good now. I got some money. I got some food. And I was able to get something to drink. So he said to me, walking out of the door, he said, "Look, when you going to let me take you out?" And I looked back at him and I said, oh, I don't feel comfortable with you taking me anywhere because you don't know my name and I don't know yours. And I smile, looking approachable, even though I didn't have none of my physical stuff going. But it's always about that aura too. See, this energy, they still feel the energy without the physical, dress and the makeup and all of that on. Anyway, I told him, I was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with you taking me anywhere because I don't know your name, you don't know mine. And he says his name, and then he said, and what's yours? And I said, oh, I like that name. It means the servant of the Most High God, but he had something on the end of it, so I wasn't sure if it still meant that with the ending that he had. Well, his mama put on the back of it, and I was like, well, anyway, my name is B, and he was like, nice to meet you, and shook my hand and said, you're right. It means a Greek god. It's a Greek god's name. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he immediately said to me, so when are you going to let me be your God? And I replied and I said, oh, no. And well, I like to do my little hands. That's feminine energy when you're moving your hands and stuff. Even though my nails wasn't even polished that day. Anyway, I said, oh, no. You can't be my God because I'm already my God. But I can let you be some positive flowing energy in my world. And he just laughed or whatever. He was like, I like that. I like that. You into that universal stuff, huh? And I said, you think? And so we just laughed and talked or whatever. But that's why I remember him. That's why he stood out. It seemed like and I thought to myself, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Not he's the one, not, oh, I like him. And no, this is going to be fun because I thought to myself, it feels refreshing to meet somebody that's into, universal consciousness, or at least knows of it, because I don't know the depth of what he knows or the lack. I don't know the capacity in that area. But that felt cool to me. He wasn't typical also. That felt good to me too. He wasn't typical. The reason why I don't remember them other 7 is because they said, hey, what's your name? Where you from? What school you went to? Never seen you around here before. How many children you have? So typical. That's what all of the other, I talked about all the beautiful women, that sits there and look pretty. That's what all of the other handsome men would say. The typical. You see? So why should somebody choose you? And you could answer that better than I can on the video. Because my words, even if I tell you to, do da 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 da, my words not going to teach. It is the life experiences that's going to teach you. So just think about the things in your past, the areas in your past where you had stumbling blocks, whether it be in your personality, or if you're the type of woman that always just suck general, like on the phone with a man, but talking about what you're going to cook. The children drove you crazy. You got bills that need to be paid, or what I'm saying here is those things don't bring about a thrill, chill, or expansion. Those things are so typical. Everybody have children. Well, not everybody, but a lot of women have children. All of them probably have at least 1 or 2 bills. That's typical. All of them probably work and are tired. So why would we talk to the opposite sex about the typical things? Just maybe in that area we can try more to be not typical. I do it all the time, but I'm sharing it so maybe you can do it. Like another example before I go here on Instagram, if you will go and you see some handsome men, I'm sure you have some one or two handsome men that you follow, bodybuilders or whatever. Go to a bodybuilder page who just post pictures, and you'll see in the comments all of the women. Oh, he fine. Are you married? Oh, I like you. Hot. And they'll put the little flame, little emoji, flame or whatever in the comment. Typical. So I know we're talking about box stuff, but sometimes we have to think outside of the box to the non-typical. Because in understanding human nature, this is how it goes. We like the thrills, chills, and expansion. So we have to give each other thrills, chills, and expansion in order to be remembered. That's how this human nature thing is going. So these comments are all typical, and I like to comment on people's page just like that, just to prove a point, really, not to flirt with the men. To prove a point. And because the men are sometimes, for equal purposes, they'll entertain every last one of the women, but a lot of times these men are in the gym so much that they don't entertain these women at all, because they be in the gym or they work it out looking for perfection in the body or the physical, right? So I will go on that thread and comment and say to him something like, did you skip ab day? Well, everybody else is complimenting him. I asked him if he skipped ab day. What's up with those abs? Just going against the grain, because it's something that people probably don't ask him about. He has six packs, the six pack just sticking out. Nobody ain't asking him about it being tight. It's tight. It's perfection. But to say that to somebody who hear it all the time, it will go over their head, is all I'm saying. So, what makes a person choose you? What makes you stand out? If it's not the comments, the witty comments, it could be the heart. It can be the heart, the ability to just speak your truth and just let a person know how you feel in a sexy, seductive, confident way, not in a needy way. That can be your thing that make you stand out. It can be your jokes or whatever it is. All I'm saying is do some self-reflection and find out why. In a world, in a physical reality with so many beautiful women, why should he pick you? Be blessed.